The key word of trust is runs up against this all-pervasive pessimism that exists all around us and penetrates us. And the pessimism has gone on for a long time. It started a couple of hundred years ago when science kind of took a wrong turn and started to make assumptions that God couldn't possibly exist, essentially. It's too ridiculous a notion. We know that the universe didn't start 6,000 years ago. Religions have done as much harm as good. All of the rationalizations they used to take God off the table, basically. And that was a form of pessimism because all the conceptions of God by all of the major religions and by natural intuition, primitive animism, it's all about the benevolence and the feeling of being loved by a super parent, a spiritual super parent. And if you take that off the table, that kind of removes a certain degree of awe and wonder and optimism. But then it got much worse. If you Google has a thing where they count the number of times a word appears in books, and they've gone through millions of books in many languages, and they've gone back to I think the year 1800. So you can graph how a word trends over time since the 1800 time period. And what you see is that around 1800, the words realism and idealism almost never appeared in books. But then they both started to increase, and they were going up together, side by side, until around 1935, when realism kept going up and up and up and up, and idealism gone down and down and down and down since 1935. And then around 1950, you saw levels of trust in the government and your own religion and the people around you, your family, your neighbors. Trust started to go down in the 1950s. And it's at an all-time low now. And belief in the future is an all-time low. Just 2 or 3 years ago, it was a survey of teenagers, which found that 35% of teenagers in the US said they believed that life has no purpose. So this is pervasive pessimism, which we can't help, even we optimists can't help but be affected by. It's a huge, heavy albatross around our necks, pulling us down all the time. And so we're pessimistic about ourselves. And when we look back, instead of counting the moments where we showed our true colors, our greatness, our nobility, our unselfishness, our creativity, our courage, our talent, we don't remember those moments. We remember the things that shamed us, that made us feel bad. And like we can't get rid of those memories. We can't forgive ourselves that we did those things or suffered through those moments and brought them on ourselves. And we don't trust that if we put time into investing in our own training for our passion work, that it's ever going to pay off. So, what's the number? 29% of Americans have been medically diagnosed as having lifetime depression. 3 out of 10 people. And so those people, and we meet them every day. 3 out of 10 people we meet every day are in that situation, whether they show it or not. They're not believing in themselves enough to take the time to train themselves. What they should do is decide what the desired end state is, what work they want to be doing, without counting on it or getting attached to it or looking at the outcomes. Just looking at, this is the kind of work I want to be doing. Whether it's successful work, unsuccessful work, this is where I want to be. And then plan the steps like you're a company planning a marketing plan. You're marketing yourself to the world. You are a company. You're the manager of the company. You can't just say, okay, the company's doomed, and they just sit there and wallow in your self-pity. Spend the time differently. No more wallowing. Self-control, self-mastery, self-discipline. Use the time effectively because you believe you're going to make it. And you have to therefore trust yourself that if you're not going to make it, you're going to put on a damn good close attempt to make it. And you'll be proud of the effort that you made, even if you don't make it. And you'll enjoy getting there because it's all about your passion work. So training for the passion work is doing the passion work in a sense. So you'll be enjoying it along the way. But don't just sit there and wallow in it, and don't be a pessimist. Leave open the possibility that the universe is actually trying to help you. Look for the clues that the universe is trying to help you, and you'll see them. They've been there all along. You just haven't allowed yourself to see them.
Yeah, I think one, that's powerful, and two, I think it just speaks to the importance of optimism